Hello and welcome to the first round of the Nippon Challenge Series 2010 here at Mallory Park. We hope that you've all survived the winter break, and now with the cold weather out of the way and the sun out and shining, let's get on with some racing. The Nippon Challenge Series 2010 will be supported by the MR2 Series and the Subaru Cup, making it the racing series to follow this year. As ever, we'll be bringing you all of the highlights of our racing, and we'll be getting into the minds of the drivers to find out exactly what makes them want to hurl themselves around some of the most challenging tracks in the UK. If you'd like to get involved with any of the racing this year, then the schedule for the Nippon Challenge, the MR2 Series and the Subaru Cup breaks down like this. We're here today, April 18th at Mallory Park. May the 30th, we're at Snetterton. June the 20th, it's Castle Combe. July the 17th, it's Liddon Hill. August the 22nd is Camberwell Park. September the 19th, back to Mallory Park. And the final will take place on October the 24th at Brands Hatch. Well, we're in the perfect position for the first qualifying of the day. Let's take a look at the Nippon Challenge. I'm here with Vaughan Fletcher, who is racing in the Nippon Challenge this year, and he's in the GT300 class. He actually won last year, and he's just come first, pole position in qualifying. So hi there, Vaughan, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
I take it you're fairly happy with your position in qualifying?
Yes, fairly happy indeed, yes. I was thinking it was going to be between me and Maxim, and I pipped him.
I'm here with Lee Bennett-Neal, who's racing in the Nippon Challenge 250 class this year. Now, he's actually just come 10th overall in qualifying and first in the GT250 class. So well done for that. How did qualifying go for you?
Oh, great, thanks. Bit of trouble at the bed in some brakes, but apart from that, spot on. Last year was all about sort of putting mileage on the car, trying to learn the tracks. This year, just progress from there, try and move up the pack, so see where we end up.
That was an excellent qualifying session from the Nippon Challenge Series. Now let's take a look at the MR2s. Well, it looks like we've witnessed the first incident of the season. The safety cars come out, the red flag's up, and all the cars have stopped. So let's go down to the pits and find out exactly what's going on. Well, we were wondering what happened there in qualifying with the MR2 series, and I've managed to grab one of the drivers here. It's Chris Shackle. So thanks for joining us, Chris. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
And can you shed some light on what happened during qualifying?
Yeah, we believe Jess Brodger, she's in the 84 car, she spun out at the hairpin, facing the wrong way, and just the sheer amount of traffic, she couldn't get it going again, so the best option was to throw the red flag out and get it going again. I'm here with Alex Gassman. He came first in the race 1 of the MR2 series here today at Mallory Park. So congratulations, Alex, very well done. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it's good. Brilliant way to start the season, really. I mean, I couldn't ask for much more. Put it in pole and qualifying, and then first race out, led from the start all the way to the end. So it was nice to be there.
I was, I think, lying about 10th, but had a bad spin and ended up 20th. But hey ho, such is life.
Okay, but you're still racing race 2, so...
Yes, yeah, still there in race 2, so we're trying to make up a few positions.
Can you talk us through a little bit of the race?
Off the start, Adam, who was next to me, didn't get a brilliant start, just tucked in behind me. First, like 5 or so laps, Adam was right at my bumper. But when we hit traffic, hit back markers, the gap sort of spread out a bit.
So how did it go? How was the race for you?
Well, it was my first ever race, and I was absolutely bricking it at the beginning. And I've never sweated so much in my life. I got about 3 people on the start, ended up 3rd, so I'm really pleased.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into racing?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, bought a Honda CRX, welded it up because it was rotten, threw it on the track and just progressed from there. Done a few track days, then took the next step, went into racing.
Okay, and how do you feel that track days compare with racing?
Racing's awesome. Track days, there's too many rules, you've got to behave yourself, but, well, you've still got to behave yourself here, but...
Where you really notice the big changes is if you do a bit of racing and then go on a track day. It's a bit like drinking a glass of water, really, not that exciting.
Okay, so you definitely prefer the racing with the Nippon?
The racing, yeah, there's nothing like racing once you get into it.
I know that you've raced before, so can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, about 18 years ago, I used to race in the HSCC and a very small Honda S800 sports car. I did 4 years in that on and off. That was okay. Well, I was at the back of the grid this one, so now we're a bit more near the pointy end. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you've done kind of track days as well, so can you tell us about how that experience has helped you with racing?
Yeah, I've been doing about 3 years in track days just in the Integra. Before that, I did a few in the S800 as well. But it does bring you on with your racecraft. Obviously, you can't overtake like you can in racing, but it does give you a good introduction into racing.
How did you get into racing in the first place? What's your kind of background?
Well, it was initially from my dad because he raced, and then he took me and my younger brother karting. And then we did a race school through that, and we did a championship, and then we got on the car.
I broke my first race when I was 16, before I actually had a driving licence for the road. But yes, this will be my third year. So I did karting from about 8 though. That was like Coma Cadets. That was up from 8 to about 12. And then we stopped racing, went to called the Under 17 Car Club, where we learned to drive cars at road standard. Did that for a few years, and then just got into this.
When I was younger, so 16 or 17, I'd done a whole load of track days. And then did some rally raid events, and then decided I wanted to get into circuit racing. So found this lot, and yeah, it was fairly cheap. So yeah, bought the car, and yeah, went racing.
I started doing 750 low cost, did the Fun Cup for a couple of years, and sort of looked around for something inexpensive that I could do with my daughter, so we could share a car because she wanted to race. So we looked around and found the MR2 series.
Just got one last question for Alex here. What would you say is the standard of racing like in the MR2 series?
On the whole, it's pretty good. I mean, there's a couple of guys like Adam, who's always right behind me, you can really trust when you have a race him. You know he's not going to do anything stupid, and you can be right next to him and have no contact the whole time. I mean, a place like Mallory with the hairpin, there's always going to be a bit of bumping. All sort of like concertinas into there, it gets quite tight, but generally it's pretty good, and you can go a whole weekend without getting any damage if you're careful. So yeah. The other thing is, if you do get a bit of a whack, you can just go on eBay and find the wing for like 30 quid, whack it on, lick of paint, job done. I mean, that's why it's so good. But yeah, it's nice.
There's a lot of drivers, which is nice. We've got a whole load more this year, which is good, and yeah, some good close racing.
I think everyone's level, so it's all literally door handle to door handle, and you can go lap after lap side by side and just come out with a massive grin on your face.
This is the fourth season for me now. I know quite a lot on the grid. There are a fair few new guys this year, which should be better. They should progress up the grids.
I just love the adrenaline rush. It's really close racing. All the cars on the grid are the same sort of make and model. There's not a huge amount you can do to the engine, so it's quite close in terms of speed, and yeah, good close racing.
We looked into MX5 racing, and we looked into other forms of racing, and this was definitely the cheapest.
I shopped around, for different types of motorsport, and it came out on top, definitely. If you need a new clutch, 150 quid, that's like unheard of.
The MR2 series is sort of as cheap as chips, really, so it's sort of the most cost effective for the money you spend in it.
Well, what a fantastic start to the racing season here today at Mallory Park. The weather has been amazing, bright sunshine all day. It's gone down now, but as you can see behind me, everybody's packing up to go home. So just a quick recap then on who won today. For the Nippon Challenge in races 1 and 2, Vaughan Fletcher won both of those races. And for the MR2 series, we had Alex Gassman winning race number 1 and Aaron Pullman winning race number 2. So congratulations to all of the drivers there. If you'd like to join us at the next race, we'd love you to do that. You can join us here at realmotion.co.uk, or of course you can come along and watch it live firsthand at Snetterton on the 30th of May. Hopefully we'll see you there. Thanks for watching.